I mean, one of the biggest consequences of wireless is sleep disruption, whether it comes from cell phone towers, cordless phones, cellular phones, Wi-Fi, et cetera. I know when I was in Smithers, British Columbia, we were fly fishing for steelhead. My youngest son, who's a naturopath, who's a little electrosensitive, not as much as my other son, but he said to me, "Dad, I have never slept so well." You know, we were in the woods, we were away from everything, and basically, when you're in that environment, your melatonin is going to go up. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They've showed this in the human model, they've showed it in the rat model, but melatonin does go down in the brain when you're exposed to toxic EMF from high-tension wires, or whether it's from RF. A definite increase in inflammation, definite increase in anxiety and depression. I know Dr. Montano will be talking later. He's an expert in this area, and you should all come to his talk, but he lectures on anxiety and depression and ADD and ADHD all over the United States. Hypertension is also an effect that we're seeing in patients exposed to this invisible electromagnetic field. And my hunch here is that the blood is becoming more hypercoagulable. And this, again, since children are more vulnerable to Wi-Fi than adults, whatever you're seeing here is going to be magnified in children. So I don't want to see this in children, but you know, hypertension in children, you know, could be a factor depending on how long they're exposed, how many years are they exposed to Wi-Fi. So we might be creating a whole subset in the society where we're seeing hypertension in teenagers and young adults. But the genesis of hypertension basically is when you're exposed to any electromagnetic device, it thickens the blood. We call it hypercoagulability of the blood. And when that causes stasis of the blood, basically it puts more shear forces into the vasculature, and blood pressure goes up. Tinnitus is ringing in the ears, and this is the most common cause of tinnitus, or ringing in the ears, and now hearing loss in the United States are cellular phones. So it goes like this. You know, you may get a little ringing in your ears first, followed by some hearing loss, followed by possible brain tumor with long-term use. Again, in children, since they're more vulnerable, if the children are complaining to their parents, geez, I'm hearing ringing in the ears, you know, think of Wi-Fi, electromagnetic waves, and the invisible electromagnetic field. Headaches is really the most common symptom these children will face. You heard all these children who were talking at Mountain View and Collinwood, you heard them say, "I get this pressure in my head." What that child is saying, basically, is that I have autonomic dystonia. That's the words that, you know, doctors use. I have a problem with my autonomic nervous system. And Magda's laughing here because she did the research on this. She did the original research on disturbed heart rate variability, which is my last bullet. And basically, when a child has autonomic dystonia, or there's an upgrade of the autonomic nervous system, they go into a fight-flight response. What they're experiencing is lightheadedness, dizziness, headache, palpitations of the chest, sometimes shortness of breath, sometimes atypical chest pain, arrhythmia where the heart is racing, and Magda showed in her research disturbed heart rate variability where the heart rate went way up. And basically, these are cardiovascular findings of the wireless electromagnetic field.